from Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in Lake Worth, Texas. Welcome in, everyone, to a Wednesday edition of the Grandpa and Pappy Show. It's good to have everybody here as we make another day together and welcome you in, as we always do.
Welcome aboard.
Without you, we are nothing, and our show is nothing. So we're happy to have you along today. We got a good subject that we're going to be talking about, Pappy. Actually, should Congress have term limits? Now, we've been kind of hinting about this. For what, about the last 2 months, 3 months, maybe?
The last 45 years.
And I thought, okay, well, really, I'd like to know what our viewers think about it.
I bet I
and
could guess.
As usual, boy, they jumped right in the middle of it. Of course,
right amongst it.
Of course, terms for congressmen and representatives are 2 years, and they don't have a limitation on how many times they can run or be elected into Congress.
And that's silly. Mm-hmm. That's just silly.
What is your feeling on that, Pat? I mean, do you?
A simple yes will do it for me.
Just a simple
yes. Just a simple yes. Get their ass out of there for 2 years.
We had several opinions that basically said yes to term limits because we need new blood in there with new ideas.
Yeah. Well, and that could be, I mean, this day and age, with the way things are going, all the lies and BS it's going, in the political realm, that could be good or it could be bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, money rules all, Cash
doesn't it? Boy, it certainly does. And, of course, the latest political news is that Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden has named California Congressman Kamala Harris as his choice for a vice presidential running mate come November.
A true black American.
Yeah. Not. Thank you. No. That's a very good choice. Anyway, he made his announcement yesterday. Yeah. And I posted something this morning to ask you folks what you thought about Kamala Harris being chosen. And we're starting to get in comments, and if we get enough comments in, we may make a show out of it Monday.
Yeah, we need to hear your voice on that.
Yeah, I'd really like to know what you think about this. I really would.
I mean, we were talking earlier, and was it, 3-4 weeks ago? She was accusing Biden of being a
pedophile. Yeah, that was all over the news. Politics, you gotta love it.
Yeah, welcome to the merry-go-round, everybody.
Just tell me where to get off.
The hell with that brass ring. I want off here, man.
Well, should Congress have term limitations? Well, let's find out what you, our viewers, had to say, because a lot of you were very, shall we say, colorful with your comments, and some of them were very
we call
spot on.
We call that at the Grandpa and Pappy Show being opinionated.
Oh, yes. I like that.
I like that word.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive right in. All Brandon Cummings said, for sure, nobody should be able to live off the government for 40 or 50 years. Also, while we're at it, they shouldn't be immune for insider trading laws. Just another way to legally bribe them.
That's a good point.
I like that. Yeah. Way to go.
Yeah, we might have to steal that. Well, Bob Baker says yes for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Bob, he doesn't mince words, does he?
Oh, country boy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Old Flatlanders, you know how they are.
Out there in West Texas?
Yeah.
Is that where he's from?
I think he left Amarillo, it seems like. I think he moved a little further south.
Well, I got you.
He's big on fishing, so.
Well, Bob, we always appreciate your comments. Yeah. We sure do. Yeah. Mary Sue Taylor said if there were limits, it may curb a lot of the congressmen from being bought off by special interest groups. We Americans do not know how much money they receive from these groups to look favorably and vote for the things that they are lobbying for. A lot of congressmen come to Washington not being wealthy, but after a few years, they make the Forbes list for being millionaires.
Yeah.
Get you to thinking, right?
Right. We're talking about
Mary Sue, I like to Hey, good job. I mean, that
A lot of our tax dollars are shifting and going different directions.
she just said what a lot of people think.
That's right.
I'm telling you, you hit it right on the nose,
Yep.
Mary Sue.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Yeah. Lindsay Rogers Hardy said yes, it would keep quacks from ruining our country. I won't name names, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
We're
There
on
you
the
go.
same page.
Yeah,
Lindsay.
we are. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, well
Jerry Diane Glazer said yes, as long as we cut their retirement. And boy, there's another sore spot with a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know that they can serve one term and they have retirement for life.
Yeah. With lots of money in their pocket.
That is not even right.
I mean, what is the, and I'm not even sure on this, I hadn't researched it, but what is the salary, basic salary going in as a congressman or congresswoman?
Well, they just gave themselves another raise in the last stimulus package.
Like $240 a year with
Something
a
like that.
benefit package would choke a damn
yeah.
rhino.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Insurance,
$240
retirement.
a year, and you take all those taxes away, and in 10 years they're multimillionaires. How the hell does that happen? Wish I'd have studied politics a little closer when I was going to school.
We might be really retired by now.
This would be
Salary is $174,000 a year.
Wait a second. Let me hang
Salary's
on.
what?
Now, hold on. Let me get you turned on. Okay, go ahead.
The salary is $174,000 a year.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's see if I can find something. I'm Googling this for you.
Google. If you don't know it, just Google.
Speaker of the House gets $223,500.
And all she can drink?
House Majority and Minority Leaders get $193,400. Vice President $230,700, and the President gets $400. Now these may not be the most current. I don't know.
Well, you don't have to worry about Trump. He donates all his back into the country, so
he's going
that
to
ought to tell you something.
Be a trillionaire.
Yeah, that ought to tell you something.
No, thank you for that, Special. Drac Smith said even if they had the best intentions when they went, over time they grow isolated from the people they are meant to represent. That's a fact.
Bingo.
Political office should be a chore, not a career.
Now that's prophetic. I like that.
It is. Makes a lot of sense. Thanks for sending that in, Drac. That makes a lot of sense. It really does.
Rhonda Marie Elliott said they should be given a maximum of 4 terms or 8 years to serve. In the meantime, they should be paying into Social Security, getting their own insurance plan, and no lifetime retirement benefits. They should have to abide by the same laws and methods they have governed us to do. Being a politician used to be an honorable profession, but now they're looked upon like crooks. That in itself is such a shame.
Because they are crooks.
Well, I'll tell
The
you
vast
why.
majority of them are, anyway.
I thought they had an ethics committee. I really do. I mean, look how many congressmen have had hush money paid for them because of sexual
Let's talk about
things.
this word ethics.
Yes.
It's probably like everything else that's changed along in our history, like history books and definitions of words that are not appealing to you. So I need to look at it.
Got a point.
Oh, here's one from our shy friend Eddie Dixon. He said, yes, he's up for term limits, and I'll tell you why. Only one word I need to use, Biden. He's a sorry excuse for a politician.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel, Eddie?
Such a shy little guy. Tell you what, in my opinion, he's a sorry excuse for a human being.
Boy,
So,
well,
yeah.
I'm afraid you're not the only one that thinks that, too.
Yeah.
Chad Brooks says, yes, he's in favor of it. In his words, new blood brings in new ideas.
It does.
That's what we were talking about in the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
So
but there again, that could be good or that could be bad, depending on what side of the fence you elect to stand on.
that's true.
Chad Brooks, you just read
Yeah.
it. John Bossy said yes to term limits. It was never intended to be a career.
And he's absolutely right.
Absolutely.
Donna Briggs Moss said, abso-friggin-lutely. Boy, there's a new word that our viewers came up with that everybody's using now.
Yep.
They put themselves above us. Tell it like it is, Donna.
Enough to chap your backside, ain't it? John Whitaker says he is absolutely in favor of term limits. Says other than being in attendance at all congressional meetings, they should be required to spend a lot of time at home with their constituents to find out the problems they are facing and how he, as a congressman, can move to solve them.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly why they were put into office.
That's exactly correct.
Too many times a politician is elected after massive campaigning only to forget the people once they get to Washington.
Ain't it so, as my daddy used to say.
Following the money trail.
Oh, wow.
Hibbity humpity.
Boy, now, who wrote that? John Whitaker. John, boy, that's hitting the nail right on the head, I'm telling you. Darla Walker said she's all for term limits because they set themselves up as gods. All rights for all people.
Absolutely, Darla.
I agree.
And Michael Thompson seemed to agree with Darla Walker. He says politicians believe they are above the law. Well, most of them are these days.
It seems like it.
Look at all the stuff politicians like Hillary Clinton, Obama, and the countless others have gotten away with. If it were you or me, we would be behind bars for life or lined up and shot for treason.
Ain't it so?
Plus, any congressman who is accused of any outside sexual activity should have to pay the price. And the Congress needs to stop paying hush money to keep people quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Bill and Hillary just have them killed and doesn't worry about them talking. Interesting stuff. No, they talk them into committing suicide.
Michael, you just went right to the core, brother. You sure did.
Cut right to the quick on that one. Well said, Mark.
Our guitar picking buddy, Judge Chris Wood, said, "What I'm in favor of is keeping the good and voting out the bad. That is term limitations. People wake up. You seem to care more about fresh tomatoes than your Congress."
I like maters. By the way, Judge Chris Wood, I'm going to be giving you a call here pretty soon. We'd like to get you on the show. So.
Yeah, we would. So talk about a very talented individual.
Check your schedule. Yeah, he plays some of our music that we're introducing him to. The boy can pick.
Yes, he can.
Brett Barker just simply said, "Hail to the yes."
There's another one that don't say a lot, but what he does, you better listen. It's like my daddy used to tell me about my grandfather. You know, your grandpa don't talk much, but when he opens his mouth, you better listen.
Better pay attention.
Yes, sir. Josh Thomas agrees to term limits for the Congress and the Senate. He says this actually has massive bipartisan support.
That is absolutely true.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and Special K, you can correct me if I'm wrong, too. In order to get the term limit changed, someone in Congress has got to propose an amendment to the Constitution, don't they?
Well, I would think so.
I mean,
if you want my opinion on this whole, only way it's going to get changed ever because of politics involved is to let the vote come to we the people and not to Congress. They will never vote themselves
that's what I'm saying.
other than what they have.
I'm saying that it has to go through Congress for a proposed amendment change that the people can vote on.
Yeah,
correct.
But it will never make it past that. Because
that's exactly what I was referring to.
Yeah, people, we pay their salaries. It's our money that pays them.
That's correct.
And we let them get away with all of this.
Well, it'll be booted out before it even gets started. Half the time we're not even aware of it.
But there's some things that goes on that I think we, the people, should have the vote on, not we.
Yeah, things like Obamacare. That would have never passed if it would have gone to the people. Yeah,
just saying.
Just saying. That's her favorite saying.
My bud David Hernandez up in Amarillo said, "No, just don't vote them back in." To which Judge Chris Wood said, "I've been saying that for years, and people still blindly vote." Amazing, isn't it? Voters are voters. If you like Nancy Pelosi, vote for her. If we all voted more carefully, Pelosi would never been voted for in leadership.
That's right.
And he's right.
That's correct.
Well said.
Jordan Dish says, "I think that's the biggest problem in our country. People have been in Congress for 30 plus years collecting a fat check, and their retirement is taken care of, yet they rarely do anything."
They don't do jack squat except what they're told to do. Chasing that money.
Yeah.
Barry Elliott thinks term limitations and recall elections should be the order of the day. If someone is voted into office to serve and then forgets the people he is supposed to serve, either vote him out or have a recall election to remove him from office. Politicians should be held accountable for all their actions,
and that is exactly correct.
That is brilliant. It really is. That's the way. Isn't that the way it used to be? Except they just take you up behind the White House, chop your head off, and
shoot you. Yeah.
Next.
Well, I know they
So
used to
speak.
have anti-American committees back in the 50s and 60s.
Well,
Or actually, it started in the late 40s.
yeah.
There was a lot of Hollywood stars that were blackballed because they had an affiliation with the Communist Party.
Yeah.
And they were blackballed and just absolutely faded into oblivion, they should say. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if they had that kind of thing now.
Well, I mean,
If they had a committee to look into Black Lives Matter, Antifa, it wouldn't even bother me for them to look into the white supremacy. White supremacists.
It doesn't matter what color
look-
is involved.
Look at this picture right here. You see it?
Yeah.
If they were to establish 12 years term limits, 227 congressmen would no longer be there.
Wow.
I could
I
dig
find
that.
that
thought.
quite curious.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the word treasonous doesn't mean jack squat anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Obviously.
No, not really. Let's see. Mike Tanner thinks the American people are not smart enough to understand what is happening with these career politicians. And I think he may be onto something there.
Yeah.
Either A, the American people just don't care enough to look into it. B, they have looked into it and have their own opinion, but keep it quiet.
Or C, they've seen so much of this bullshit that they formed an opinion. I'm done. I don't care anymore.
It doesn't matter what I say; it ain't going to change.
I see and I've even been guilty of saying that. My vote's going to matter. When you
Every vote matters
when
right
you
now.
have crooked
It really
election.
does.
I mean, I was in that mindset at one time
Yeah, I
for
understand.
about
Yeah.
50 years, but not this year. Brent Hardy said yes. No one should have that much power without limits, to which Diane Fox agreed. I agree with you.
Well, you can see from the comments we're getting so far that everyone thinks they should.
Yeah.
There you go. Bobby Bailey says yes to term limits. Just think about the current crop of politicians. They were the hippie militants of the 60s. Hashtag Summer of Love.
By God. I heard I was there, but I'm like Biden when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't remember. Bobby Bailey says yes to
No, I just read that
Oh,
one.
you did?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Sabrina Monk Drabing said yes. They're there to serve, not to get rich.
And she's absolutely right.
Yep.
I can understand giving them a nice salary and maybe insurance while they're serving.
If they're doing their job.
If they're doing their job. Yeah. Dan Digman included a picture of Nancy Pelosi and said, yeah, this is why you need those term limitations. I don't know if you saw that on our page, but
Yeah,
it
I
was
did.
hysterical.
This is exactly why you need term limitations. I couldn't agree more.
Oh, Lord, have
Shirley
mercy on me.
Mills said, of course, they quit doing anything after a couple of years, so why keep them there? To which Jodelle Wilder said, too many corporations get into their pockets.
And I agree with that
Those,
also.
2% or 2.5% line their pockets, and i.e.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, Soros, people like that. you
Yeah, yeah. Lord have mercy. Emmett Hartsfield said yes to term limits. Do as our founders did. Serve your country, then go back home and go to work.
And old Emmett's a wise old goose, too.
Oh, yeah.
He's been there, done that.
Emmett's been around for about 80 years, so he knows what he's talking
And
about.
he's still working.
And he still works, yeah.
He can still
He's got
garden
one of
with
the
best of
nicest
them.
gardeners in the world.
Boy, ain't no lie. Cindy Gail Roberts Thomas says absolutely, and it should have happened a long time ago. I don't believe any politician should ever get rich at the cost of the American people. They are no better than anyone else.
What's the old saying? They put their pants on one leg at a time.
I was fixing to say that. We all put our drawers on one leg at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless we're in a hurry.
Unless,
for whatever reason.
Or unless the husband got home early. Wayne Grimsley said, well, I shouldn't have said that.
No, shame on you.
Wayne Grimsley said he would favor term limits, but until it is acted upon, there should be an independent investigative group to oversee the actions and behavior of all congressmen.
Yes.
If they're working for the people they represent or are found to be unethical, then the investigative group should call them out and make their findings public to the American people. The problem with Congress today is the fact that no one is holding them responsible for their idiotic behavior.
Well, and therein lies a battle. I'm inclined to agree to disagree. You know, I mean, it's been going on probably a lot longer than even I realize. I mean, it took JFK getting assassinated when I was a kid to make me non-political.
Non-political.
Well, I mean, you assassinate the world's greatest leader and then want to put it in a time capsule 75 years, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
it's not right. And who is this mystery person?
Oh, my goodness. Here's our buddy.
Racer X. Racer X said yes. I'm tired of being held hostage by career-seeking politicians. If the president of the U.S. is held to 2 terms maximum, so goes Congress. Either 2-term maximum or the individual is retired from a congressional seat once they reach their maximum retirement age, whichever comes first. Also, their flat butts should be in Washington on an annual basis. The average American worker has to work on an annual calendar year. Make them all carry a shovel around to remind them that they work for the American people. Peace out, Pappy.
I had a thought when I heard the shovel thing. I think they carry the shovels around now to shovel all that stuff that they are getting into.
I have a thought too, but I think I'll save it for our next Saturday fun day.
Holy
luncheon.
moly.
So be prepared, big boy.
But as usual, you guys have come up with some great comments and well thought out comments, I might add.
Well, I mean,
some of those made so much sense, I had to look at them twice.
Very practical comments. You know, I mean,
you guys come through every time.
Everybody, I mean, enough is enough. You know,
holy schmoly.
Where's it going to stop? I don't think it is.
I don't know, Pappy. I mean, it's so frustrating to the average American right now that they feel, what's the term I'm looking for? They feel unimportant about their voice being heard anywhere in this country.
Well, that's the agenda for the other side.
Yeah.
You know, belittlement.
And you and I have said it so many times, they better be careful what they're doing, because once that silent majority wakes up, it's not going to be pretty.
Don't come to the trailer hood talking that shit.
No.
There's a whole lot of people over there scatterguns. So
where's my beep button? And there you go. Right. Well, let's take a look at some of the viewer comments that we got in from you folks concerning some of our past programs, and we do appreciate that too.
Yeah, thanks for all your comments. You know, keep them coming. Keep them coming. We're always looking for something good to talk about. So,
and Pappy and I have said it so many times. We read every one of them, good or bad.
Even the good ones.
Yeah, even the good ones. Bob Baker commented on our show about whether BLM should be considered a terrorist group. He asked, do they have any other accomplishments besides terror? No. Even Hezbollah and Hamas have done some positive things. So yes, I would say they are a terrorist organization. Having said that, where does that put the Democratic Party that seems to be supporting them?
Right on the same track. In my opinion.
Boy, here we go.
I ain't got started yet. Harold Dixon also commented on that show by saying that is exactly what it is. Che Guevara t-shirts tell the tale. Who's it? Che Guevara?
Che Guevara.
Whoever. I don't even know who the hell that is.
He was instrumental in Cuba.
Che Guevara, T-shirts tell the tale. Marxist, oh yeah, I do. Okay, Marxist communist. Why are almost all the leadership non-black? Can't black lead for themselves? Evidently not. There wouldn't be that many albinos in the front.
Another one of those point-blank things.
Yeah.
Cheryl Caswell Richards sent this in concerning should more stimulus checks be issued. She said, I wish they would just open everything back up and let the people make a living for themselves.
Yeah.
I'm in favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Our show about sitting down with the president brought an interesting reply from Stephen W. Crenshaw over in Hawaii. He said it's time to put a boot in some assets.
Like that.
Right
That's
where
great.
your assets.
That's great.
Yeah.
And finally, Ronnie Fitzgerald sent this in about watching pro sports this year. He says, I'm sick of all of the political BS going on in pro sports.
Yeah.
I am all for unity for all people, but this BLM BS that is being shoved down our throats is ridiculous. I saw a commercial where the lady announcer said no lives can matter until Black Lives Matter. I saw that same one.
Yeah, I did.
How ridiculous is that? And I will not be watching.
I became very flatulent when that happened, when I saw that commercial.
I couldn't believe it said that no lives matter until Black Lives Matter.
Well, and all the TVs like Sundance Station, I don't know what it is. I think it's 126 for us on Dish, are saying that in commercials. The very same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you about that. I
Yeah.
saw that on TV. I went,
Yeah.
well, am I going to have to stop watching NCIS because I'm pretty upset about that.
Yeah. Well, you
Karen,
can bet
keep-
your BP Helen's not going to stop watching it.
She
My life matters, in my opinion.
absolutely,
All lives
I agree.
matter, yeah. And don't get us wrong, it's not a black, white, red, or green, or brown thing.
You're
It's all lives
absolutely-
matter. And if that offends the hell out of anybody, you want to come
ALL.
after me? Yeah, you want to come after me for saying that? Bring it on.
Bring it on.
You know, because I stand for my rights just like you're trying to stand for yours. But
It was
difference
a
being mine are right and yours is wrong.
that
So,
is correct.
yeah.
It was a good show today. We appreciate
was.
everybody sending in their comments.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. We always invite you to send your ideas and your comments to us.
Yeah.
And it's very, very easy for you to
Couple
do
of
that.
different ways you can do
Two
that.
ways you can do that. First of all, you can send it in to our email address, which a lot of you do, at grandpaandpappy at gmail.com. Or
You can send it directly to our show website at grandpapappy.com. And while you're there, let me wave my magic wand. Bink. Push that red button and subscribe. You know,
how did you do that?
my magic wand. It's been-
The magic does.
but subscribe. It won't cost you one thin dime or nor not even a penny.
That is correct.
Leave a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. If you have complaints, show topic ideas, something nice to say. I mean, we're up to 3 compliments, which is arguable to your divine little wife. Over there.
Okay.
But yeah, send them on. Send them on. We're too old for it to just love something good to talk about. So.
And speaking of something that's going to be a lot of fun to talk about, of course, the New York State Attorney General has filed suit to dissolve the NRA, and they are threatening to move out of New York, and we'll be talking about that on Friday.
If old Chuck Heston was still Watasi up there, he'd already have the U-Hauls loaded.
Yes, sir.
I guarantee you that.
So Friday's show is going to be, should the NRA
it'll
be
be great.
dissolved, and should it move to Texas?
And don't forget the offer of the day. We have show shirts that'll be coming in, but if you want to save on shipping and get a free glow-in-the-dark Grandpa and Pappy bracelet, pre-order. $20.
That'll
It's
do it.
$20.
That'll
as
do it.
our buddy Eric would say.
That's it. $20 is $20.
That $20 make you holler.
Hope you enjoyed the show today. We enjoyed having you with us.
Yeah.
As we always tell you, be sure to hug your children and let them know you love them.
And we love them as well.
Until we see you on Friday, thanks for joining us.
Take care of one
God
another.
bless, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.